Hi, my name's Robert Turner. My Sorare name is Bobby T _85, and today I just wanted to do a fairly short video. Again, all my videos are really short, to be honest. On goalkeepers. I just want to compare. Full of gold. Common keepers. Is it better to have the best common keeper or purchase one of the worst rare keepers for SO5? It's just kind of a funny discussion, really, isn't it? You know, you always think you need a keeper, and obviously I'm gonna try and take like the 10 worst keepers here and compare maybe having one of the top 15 common keepers. Obviously, if you don't have a top common keeper and you need, you know, as long as you're patient, you're surely gonna get one sooner or later. But obviously there's the load of rubbish keepers you can actually buy. The way I've done my search is I've looked at the last 40 averages. So I've taken the last 40 averages of both the top keepers and the worst keepers. I've looked at top 15 and top 10 worst. And then basically I've taken off 40% of the common keeper. I think that's right. So I've just times whatever their score is. I mean, I should really do it in a spreadsheet and show you, but I'm just going to go through it and talk it through instead. But I've just taken the 15th lowest score, times it by 0.6, and then I've taken the highest score, which is Alisson, times it by 0.06-ish. And then I've gone into the worst, and then I've just added 5% onto them, so assuming you have a 5% bonus. And then I've just compared the differences to see, obviously it's your choice if you want to buy a terrible keeper, but obviously it's just looking at the differences and see for its value for money. So without further ado, let's have a look. So the top 15 consists of names such as Alisson, Neuer, Everson, Walter, Ospina, Adan, a few Asian players. Paul Lopez even gets in the top 15. Lots of players, you know, Bono, etc, etc. So, you know, obviously if you can afford one of these keepers, go for it. But if you don't and you're trying to look for a budget keeper, there's loads of rubbish ones on there. So these, I'm not as familiar with the names. I've seen a few hanging around, and I actually even own one of them, but he is an under 23s keeper, and he is the second worst keeper, which is good. He's called Philip Menzel. He scores 37.9. But, I mean, obviously you can just look at Sorare data and get this information. Someone called Radlinge is officially the worst, and then it's my keeper, Philip Menzel. And then there's a Silvestre, a Joel Drommel, a Hubbard, a Savic, a Van Hamel, a Lesmida, a Kirschbaum, Bomb, I don't know, and then Nada. So these range from just slightly over 37 to 41.9. So they all score an average of under 42 in the last 40. The top keepers is Alisson. He scores 57.7. I don't know if I took quiet 15, but I've gone down to Castiles, who is 53.4. And basically I've done, when in my search, I've made sure they're playing, you know, the vast majority of the last 40 and a minimum of about, I think it was 10 games in the last 15. So these are all, should be more or less starting keepers. I haven't bothered going into the prices and etc. But basically, if you own one of the top commons, they score between 53 and 58. So if you go down to around Castiles, he's 53.4, but I've just rounded 53 for the sake of this, and Alisson is 57.7. I've just rounded it to 58. So on average, if they're scoring on average 53, they're gonna score you a point, times in that by 0.6. I don't know, I want to put a note there. 0.6. They score 31.8. So having that common keeper in, it's gonna, on average in the last 4, is gonna get you 31.8. And if it's top of the range, if you've got an Alisson, he is going to pull you in around 34.8 on average per week. So not terrible, really. Then looking at the worst 10. So, and basically I've taken their last 40 score, and Radlinge is 37.3. So I've times this by 1.05 for the 5%, and that puts him at an average of around just over 39.1. And then at the bottom one, the Nada, if I'm even saying it right, I'm terrible at pronunciation. English is not my forte. But anyway, our pronunciation, should I say. He scores on average, quite healthy really, 41.9. Which if you add the 5% to that is 43 just over 43. So what I've taken into consideration, so if you actually bought this Radlinge and then you compared it to the worst of the best, on average you'd be 7.3 better off a week, which isn't great. And then if you compare that to having an Alisson, so if you've got the Alisson card and instead of buying this Radlinge, then the difference would be 4.3 on average a week. So if you've got an Alisson, there's no point buying this keeper, in my opinion. Moving on to the 10th worst and comparing it against the worst of the best common, you'll be on average 11.2 better off. So Nada against Castiles, 11.2 better off, which is pretty good. Have I got these wrong way around? Yeah, no, that's right. But then if you had the Alisson common, and you was thinking about buying this Nada to not play the common card, on average per week you'd be 8.2 better off. So there's not huge amounts, is it? I know it's like you do have to buy a keeper, but I think I mean, obviously I've just noticed the Menzel score, and obviously I own him, and that's making me because he's, you know, I could probably fetch a good 800-900 quid for him, and I'm really debating whether that's value for money. I think it probably not for me selling it, you know. And lucky enough, I mean, I don't own any of the top ones. That's not lucky, but I don't own any of the other crap ones. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Does this change your mind if you own one of these rubbish keepers? Would you sell it if you've got one of the top common keepers? Do you want to use these in your SO5, or do they go in a main score? Are they killing you? Let us know, and what you might do in the future. And if you want any more videos on stuff like this, just, yeah, watch it, thumbs up, message me, and I'll try and do a few more. I'm not aiming to do loads and loads of videos, maybe. I mean, in an ideal world, I like to do 2 a week. I mean, I've just done 2 this morning, but, you know. And I will big up the other video, I might as well, and whilst I'm here. My other video, I've just done like some tips for not starting out, but if you've got a few cards, or if you've been on it a while and you might have just missed stuff, because there's a lot of stuff to do with like scammers and securing your account and, you know, setting minimums and I think it'd be useful. I mean, they're all stuff that I wish I'd done earlier and stuff like that, so, you know, you might find it helpful. Can't remember what it's called, but I'm sure I can probably you probably haven't got loads of videos, so it won't be hard to find. Thanks for watching, and good luck in the next and the following game week. Thanks, bye.